Hey y'all, hey, this is Kimberly Winborn of Coffee and Collaborations. I'm here with a special guest today, Crystal Bodie Smith. And I am excited. Y'all know I'm always excited, but I'm extra excited because this young lady I've known since I was 15 years old. So that is several years, and overdue for her to be my guest on the show. So I'm glad to have her, but this month's focus is December, the last month of the year, 2019. And so this month, we're gonna be focusing on mindset. And mindset is something that whether you have a great one or a poor one, it is going to absolutely catapult your life in one direction or another. Crystal is the hope catalyst. And so just imagine what sort of a mindset you have to have in order to every day get up and be determined to inspire hope. So I want to read a bit of her bio, and then we're going to dive right into a conversation. Once again, welcome to Coffee and Collaborations. So Crystal Bodie Smith is the co-founder of Capital City Hope Foundation, which is a nonprofit headquartered in Raleigh, North Carolina since 2012. The foundation's mission is to bring awareness, empower the needy, influence the community, and bridge the gap so everyone can enjoy a productive state of mind. Everything done by the organization is focused around the mission statement, stirring up gifts, instilling hope, and saving lives. The organization has created a Hope Weekend to give back. That's an annual event to citizens in low-income areas. And overall, Ms. Bodie Smith focuses on striving for success, taking one moment at a time and not letting her losses, failures, or tragedies slow her down. And it is her goal to make and leave an impact in the world, and she has on me. And so I hope having her as my guest, she will also have an impact on you. And so welcome once again, Crystal. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
She got her notes and all set up.
Yeah, I have to have that. I have to have it.
So tell us a little bit more about you. I know I talked about the nonprofit, but there's so much hope, more to the word hope. So what's kind of your backdrop?
I'm just, I tell people I'm just an ordinary person, just like you and everyone else. But I do have a story, which we all do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned in my life is that we are a living testimony, and when we overcome things, I think it's our duty to share it so it can help somebody else who's been through that same path. And I watched over the years many people just hurting, man, many people hopeless.
Yeah.
I've been hopeless, and so it saved my life to become the catalyst, because as I spread hope to others, it keeps me encouraged. So a lot of times when we do something for somebody else, by default, it helps us.
It helps us,
and that's kind of like what this does,
Yeah, and I think that's how God inspires purpose, like through our pains and struggles and tragedies. Like you just said, you're able to take that and turn it around, become the hope catalyst to give yourself hope as well. And I love that. I love how, what is it, the quote, pain becomes your purpose?
That's right.
Yeah, but you're also an author. I forgot to mention that you're an author. And so what is the book that you authored?
Well, there's a couple of books. The first one that I wrote was Final Wishes, the transition from life to death, and that's a whole nother topic. That is honestly something I wrote when I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Yeah.
When you watch 3 people leave this earth in different ways and you see what has happened, I learned some things, and I learned how people are not prepared, So that book simply lets people know that we need to be prepared.
Yeah.
Not just with life insurance, but different types of insurance that just help people not to have to go through those challenges they have in life. The second book is a collaboration. It's a 365-day devotional, and that's with other women, and that's an amazing book. Matter of fact, it's good every year. I'm looking forward to pushing that for 2020. It's a devotional where every day a different woman gives a scripture and how they use that scripture to get through life.
I love that.
And so that's a powerful book. And then I have a couple more that I've written that I haven't published yet, but I'm just writing. Everything I go through, I'm putting in a book.
That's smart.
Everything I'm going through, I'm putting in a book. I have one that's called Shattered But Not Broken, and women get up from your downslope.
I like that.
So, one day I feel like if God calls me and my job is done, I'm going to leave something behind for people to know and learn from and continue to grow even in my absence.
Yeah, your legacy
That's
is
it.
important. So both of those books that you've already published can be found?
Amazon, also the bookstore, you know, a couple of places, Barnes & Noble, my website,
Yeah.
a couple of different places. Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot is collaboration.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you do a lot of collaborating, especially when it comes to serving and giving back and helping those who are disenfranchised or going through several different transitions. That's one of the things that you and I have in common, you know, being able to help people in transition. And so what is that heart matter within you, that heart thing within you that makes you every day put aside some of the stuff that, because we all have stuff, right, that we want to do, but to put that aside and have the mind of the collaborator to say, well, maybe my thing doesn't need to be out front, but the bigger picture is this mission, and then every day to keep doing that. So what is it for you that continues to propel you?
Hope for the hopeless, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand what it's like to put on that face. I understand what it's like to put on that mask, you know, because society makes us do that.
Yeah.
Society makes us get up and go to work and leave everything behind, and a lot of people are hurting deep down inside.
They are.
And so I try to just touch base on that. I try to use social media. I try to use every opportunity I have when I cross somebody's path to just simply say, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Or it's okay not to be okay. And to get people to identify and stop suppressing it, because hope, you know, is necessary. It's necessary to find happiness. People have to have hope, and they have to have belief.
Yeah.
And they have to learn to ask and they shall receive. And so a lot of it is spiritual for me too, but it's necessary. I have to do it because it keeps me going. Again, I have to go back to that. It gives me purpose, and when I have purpose, it takes me out of my own, you know, I'm not gonna say misery, but it just helps me not to focus on the things that I'm trying to accomplish for myself. And you know, we have to do it. You know, I need you, you need me. We all a part of one body.
Yeah.
You know, and so we have to continue to find out what we can do to leave an impression on somebody else and help push somebody else forward.
Yeah. But this is not new for you. Like, you know, when I met you at 15, you were inspiring us in a different way. So I haven't talked about this on the show, but I used to sing quite a bit, and I had a group back in the day called Dark Essence.
Yes.
Dark Essence, right? And so we used to sing across Raleigh. We competed and all that stuff, and Crystal was our manager. And so even then, like I said, I was 15 years old, sophomore in high school. Even then, you were inspiring hope, because I'm telling you, before I met you, I never thought about being a superstar or a singer or anything like that, but you inspired that in me to be like, wow, maybe with my group I can do something bigger than what I even saw. And so what was that in you back then? Now, you were on the other side of it as a manager, but you were still inspiring hope. So what was that and we were youth, so what was that back then?
Well, you know, I think for me, I always try to pull something out of people, you know. That's a gift God gave me. I don't know why he gave it to me, but I guess he gave it to me because he knows I use it.
Yeah.
And when I see something, I just try to cultivate it and nurture it and try to bring out the best in it. And you ladies were talented, you know. And then I met you all at Inlow High School at your jam, and I said, man, they can go places. And you went from there to open up for Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so those are the things that I saw that y'all could do.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about us having that keen eye when we see people each and every day, and seeing the best in people, and seeing, you know, the hurt in people, and listening and watching, you know what I mean? And so that's what I try to do, man, because in this day and age, people are not doing that. They're not listening, they're not watching, excuse me, and they don't even care.
Right,
you know?
That's true.
So I want us to care. I want us to understand that we have to want the best for each other, and we have to encourage each other each and every day. And that's all I want to do, is be an inspiration, you know, so that when somebody is thinking about secretly taking their life, or secretly hurting because they don't have enough money in the bank account, or because they're alone, you know, I just want to be able to inspire somebody, because I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like, you know what I'm saying? So I can't shake it off, because it doesn't feel good.
Right. But the thing that you said earlier was that you took, you know there are people wearing masks, and you took off your mask, and as a result of that, now walking in your purpose. And I think about even just, you know, staying there, you had a partner back then and you were collaborating way back then. And I know so many people that talk about how they were burned, and so they don't collaborate anymore.
Right.
And so that's what really stuck out to me. Like, I don't know if you were ever burned. Right.
Okay, that's a story in itself. That's another show.
Right. But to continue, in spite of being burned, in spite of being hurt, trampled on, whatever, to continue to say, I'm going to collaborate, I'm going to inspire in order to get out here and serve the bigger mission and be a hope factor for someone else and inspire others and encourage others. So all of this, guys, goes to mindset.
Yes.
It goes to mindset, which is what this month is about. Like, how can you become a hope catalyst in spite of your pain, loss, tragedy, all of that, if there wasn't a mindset that was about growth?
Right.
And so we talked about the other day when I went live on Facebook to set this up, that there's, you know, a couple of types of mindsets. And then of course that's broken down into even more. But two are the growth mindset and the fixed mindset.
Right.
We have right here a growth mindset, because a fixed mindset would not even be on this show, would not even be a hope catalyst, would be like in a corner somewhere, probably crying in pain, or maybe wouldn't even be here, to your point of people wanting to take their lives because of their circumstances. So I want you to kind of talk a little bit about mindset and share with us some of the things that you wrote and thought through when I said that I wanted to have you on the show.
Well, you know, I have my pad here because, you know, sometimes you don't want to leave something out that's important, so I have that for this reading. So one of the things I want to say is hope helps you to persist. It helps you to, it gives you a reason to go on and do what you have to do. A lot of time people don't understand, and they allow their problems to hinder them, and they wind up being in a situation where they are not optimistic. You know, they don't have any desire to want to do anything because all they can think about is what has already happened. So let me read something to you. I wrote, what does it mean to have hope? Hope is a simple word, and yet you can mean, I'm sorry, let me say that again. It's a simple word, and yet can mean so much to anyone going through a difficult time. It can mean the difference between hanging on and giving up. It can mean a tiny smile in the face of a devastating diagnosis, and it's one word with no true definition. Hope can mean anything you want it to mean. So hope gives you that light, like when you see that person that just got cancer, but they don't stop, and they keep going, and they take that and they turn it into something totally different to inspire somebody else. You know, it's the difference between waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to accomplish something, I'm going to look forward to achieving this goal, and saying, woe is me. You know, so people need hope. You have to have it. It gives you courage. It gives you confidence. You know, the hopeless people, you can tell because their head is down. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to go anywhere. They're not striving for anything, and their mind is closed. You know, and we have to make sure that we stop that, guys. We can do it regardless of what we've been through. We have to shake it off. You have to continue to feed your mind with positivity. You talked about that. The books you read, the things you listen to, the people you're around. You have to continue to deposit hope. If you don't deposit hope, you can't withdraw it.
That's true.
If you don't deposit hope, one way or another, by the people you're around, by the things you read, by the things you listen to, by the things you look at, you can't withdraw it.
Yeah, that's so true. And you just made a good point. So it's that victim mentality that so many people live with for entire lives. Like, you know, you think about the person who has the same opportunities, two people side by side, but based on mindset, one person propels to another level while the other one stays stagnant. And that's what it boils down to. Are you a victim, and are you focusing on that mindset, or are you a hope giver, receiver, catalyst, and looking every day to be able to do more, being accountable and being responsible in a whole new light. And so I think this is timely because it's Christmas. It's a holiday. It's holidays. We just had Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and so many people are depressed and sad, you know, all of that through the holidays, unfortunately, when it should be a good time where, you know, where we expect that spirits should be high. And so I think what you just said is a great timely message for this season. I think about how, and I've seen some of your Facebook lives and I've listened to them. I've seen you push. And I remember sometimes thinking like, wow, this person, like your sister, for instance, and some of the family members that you support, they're going through all of this and she's going through all of this, but she's still showing up for me. I'm just going to make it personal. Like, you're still showing up for me, and then just think all the other people that you're still showing up for. And it's such an amazing mindset. So I know it's been a long time coming, but that's why you were one of the main people that, when I said that December was going to be about mindset, that I definitely wanted to have. And she's been fussing at me to like, Kim, you know, I should have been on the show. And I'm like, you are so right. But it's perfect. This is perfect. And so your message about hope is time. I want to talk with you a little bit about networking, though, really quickly. Not too much, because I still want to stay on mindset and don't want to lose too much time. But with your networking, what is something that you're out here doing to be sure that when you walk in a room, you're also inspiring? Like, when you walk in a room in a networking scenario, that people get that from you. Are you a person that that is something that is keen, that you think about, like how you're walking in a room when you go to events? There may not be networking, it could be, just a social scenario. Or what's that like for you?
Well, I tell you, it's interesting you said that, because as a networker, I had to learn to kind of take my emotions out of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I want so much for people because I see the value in something, and I see how networking and having a residual income helps people, because people are hurting. One of the things I try to do is find the pain and heal it. Find the problem and solve it. That's what it's all about. That's what networking is all about. But people don't understand networking. They don't understand the value of it, because people have abused it. They have used it in the wrong way. So with me, I am a networker, and I'm strongly about helping people, because I know people need more. People are working too hard every day. They don't have time. They're time broke. They're not seeing their family.
Yeah.
And I know that networking allows them to do that. If they just understand the value of residual income, it allows them to have that answer, because it's all about building a legacy for our family. It's all about not just going through this life existing. It's all about having valuable time and memories with our family, you know what I'm saying? And that's what networking means to me. It means having the opportunity to find whatever it is that you do, whatever industry that you can find, and doing your research, because networking makes the most billionaires in this world today. It's not working a 9 to 5. It's not putting in an hour for $1. It's actually learning, and excuse me for stuttering, but it's actually learning how to make money off of things you're already doing and other people's efforts. And so I try now to just kind of live by example.
Yeah.
I try to live by example, because I used to be pushy with it. I really wanted people, I talk to you about it, talk to other people, and I tell people, now I just try to lead by example.
Yeah.
And I try to let people see the networking allows me to do what I'm getting ready to do for Christmas.
Yeah.
To help these 100 and up to 1,500 families with these toys with the Marines. Because I have to take my money to do it. I have to take my money to go get the truck. In the past, I've taken money off my table from my budget that I shouldn't be taking. When you have a business, the nonprofit, we sometimes sacrifice and we use our money.
Yeah.
You have to have another way to bring in that money to be able to do ministry, to be able to do community work.
Right.
Networking gives me that outlet to do that.
I love your definitions and your overall view of networking, because you kind of brought it all together from a industry and sales specific lens, but then also from a relationship based specific lens. I like how you tie the two together. I think most people would separate it, but the way that you just described it was like it was unique and it was perfect to who you are. And so I appreciate that. So one of the things that I always talk about with networking, it's about relationships, and like I look at it from a technological view, the definition being like interconnected cables or wires. And so I can see that too lining up with what you just said, because if you're a business owner, whether it's your own business, like you said, or it's multi-level marketing or whatever it is, all of it is about creating relationships and having interpersonal connections. And then as a result, you can be able to have the seed to deposit here, there, and everywhere, but then also the increase to be able to give back to the community. And so I really love that.
Yeah, and the personal development.
Yes.
You know, the thing about it is anything you do, we have to make sure that you're connected with people that are feeding you with knowledge and understanding and encouraging you.
Yeah.
And you're continually growing because it's about the individual, it's about your family.
Yeah.
Anything we do, it has to be about personal growth and development.
It has to
be. You know, and prosperity comes, you know, the Bible says money answers all things. We need money. But money can also be the root of all evil if you don't know how to use it. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful.
Yeah, you do. And one of the things that I want to give you the opportunity to do is just share like your final inspirational message to the listening audience, the viewing audience, before we wrap up. I definitely want them to also be able to connect with you. Okay. So if you could share that as well, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. But I have really enjoyed this, and so I want to make sure to give you time to have the floor. So to say any last words.
Well, I want to say first and foremost, I'm so proud of you. I always tell you this, but you know, I have to say, you know, I feel honored to even be here, and I have gotten on you because I know we have a connection, but you are sincere in what you do, and the light that comes right off of you is so natural. So if you haven't met Miss Kimberly, you have to make sure you meet her, support her, because she has a great heart and she's genuine in what she does. And I want to say about people like us, you know, a lot of times people just don't understand what we do. You know, we can be misconceived because you see people don't always judge a book by its cover. You know, get to know it, open it up, read it, find out, because it's not always what it seems. You know, I've been sharing a lot of dog man stuff on my page, and I share a lot of stuff. It's for a reason, guys, because I really want you to really think, you know, while we're on this earth, we're missing a lot of opportunities to help one another and to spread encouragement with one another. Please stop, look, and listen. We have to do that, because if we don't, you know, we could miss the opportunity to save someone's life, you know, to seed into someone some kind of way, to give them a word of encouragement, and that's what it's all about. There are people walking around here every day hurting, and I say that over and over and over, because there's days I get up and I have to encourage myself, because I don't have that support system anymore. I don't have parents anymore. I don't have a husband anymore. I'm an empty nester. So it's all about me. If I don't encourage myself, nobody else will. So you have to find someone to encourage you. Whatever you're doing, if you're going through, find someone to encourage you. Connect with someone. You don't have to do it alone. There's people out here that care about you. Get connected and get with some people that will inspire you and give you hope.
Yeah, and how would they get in touch with you? So I know you mentioned your page.
I am Crystal Bodie Smith, and my website is www.IamCrystalBodieSmith.com. You can connect with me on Facebook, but do it on my new page, which is Crystal Bodie Smith Hope Catalyst. If you're on my old page, I need you to go to the new page and follow me. And by all means, if there's anything I can ever do, just reach out to me, because if I can't do it, I'm going to send you to somebody who can. Then if I can't do it and they can't do it, I'll listen. Because sometimes that's all you need is somebody to listen. But by all means, you're not in it alone, because, you know, we are vessels. We're used by God to just shine a light on you. If I can pray for you, I'll pray for you. So I'm here.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you again for joining us today on Coffee and Collaborations. And I'm just so blessed to be surrounded by such light. You know, you just mentioned being a light. And that is kind of how I end the show often. Like, go out here and be sure to be a light, because someone is waiting for you to shine so that they have permission to do the same. But it is our commission. We are supposed to be a light. And you guys know that I am a Christian believer, and I believe that we are to be a light for the kingdom of God, to uplift the kingdom of God. And even if you're not a Christian believer, you know that when you see someone who is carrying that torch that you need, that it doesn't matter what belief they are. It doesn't matter who they are, what they look like. All that matters is they have what you need. So take her advice and be open to receiving that thing that you have so longed for so long. It's out there for you. It is absolutely out there for you. So I want to thank Miss Bodie Smith, my friend, for coming on today and sharing with us that amazing mindset. And so this is a great launch to December. And just imagine, like I was telling you all as well, we have a few more people who are coming on that are going to be focusing on mindset, focusing on excellence, and focusing on how we can help you to get to the next level. And she already told you she'll pray for you. She'll be there for you, and I believe it. So make sure to follow her. Take all the social media information that she just mentioned, write it down, record it, and use it. And make sure to follow us at coffeeandcollaborations.com. And you can always email us at info@coffeeandcollaborations.com. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.